All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome to the Spoiler Kings. My name is St. Kramer with Jason from Jason Entertainment
What's
over
up,
on
man?
this YouTube channel. We are going to talk about another Halloween movie. This one, we're talking about the Dawn of the Dead, but the Zack
Yeah.
Snyder Dawn of the Dead,
Yeah.
the 2004 version of it. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, Jason, you want to let everyone know where they can find you at?
Yes, so thank you so much, Tank. Thank you so much, Spoiler Kings, for having me. So my name is Jason. I run a YouTube channel called Jason Entertainment, so you can find me on YouTube as Jason Entertainment. Also on Instagram as Jason Entertainment One, I believe. And yeah, so basically in my channel, I do movie reviews. I talk about football or soccer if we're in North America, just to be clear. And also sometimes anime and basically like just I talk about things I love, So maybe you'll see a board game review one day. We never know.
That'd be
It's
fun.
things that I love. So yeah, I've been planning that for a while. So hopefully that's gonna work. So yeah, so I can't wait to discuss about Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead today.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we're talking about the Zack Snyder version.
Yeah.
Um, Depending on when this is getting released, we are also going to talk about the other Dawn of the Dead one, the old school version.
Yeah, the OG.
So yeah, so that's gonna be fun. So yeah, so we're talking about Zack Snyder directorial debut. This is his first movie as a
Wow.
director, and I don't know if
Wow.
anybody knows this. The screenplay was written by James Gunn.
No way. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
you didn't know that? Yeah, so
No
James Gunn
way.
wrote it, wrote this the new version, and Zack Snyder, this was his first shot at directing.
That's
So with that being said,
crazy.
how do you like this one, and what do you think about it, and how you feel about it?
All right, so before I talk about this one, I have to say that I never watched the original one because this
Mm,
one, this one was the first one I've seen. Like,
okay.
I think this one it came in 24, right? I think I watched it in.
Uh, oh 04, it came in 04.
So I watched this
Okay.
movie 29. Sorry, 2009. So yeah, so I remember like this actually was my first zombie movie I ever watched. Like
Wow. Okay.
I took the DVD and watched it by myself and everything because maybe I watched something with my mother, but I didn't really remember. So this was really my first zombie movie ever. And man, I don't know how many times I watched this movie because this one for me is so precious. Like it's really interesting. Like I love the characters. Like I love how they like this movie is just a blast for me. It's fun. Like,
Mm,
it's just so fun. Very nice performance. Honestly, at the time, I didn't know who was Zack Snyder until, to be honest, I didn't know Zack Snyder until the DC. Like, so
yeah.
even before, I didn't really know Zack Snyder that much because I wasn't that much invested in movies like as I am today. Like today, I know a lot of directors, some writers, and everything. Before, I wasn't that into that. Like I didn't know them that much. I knew mostly actors.
Hmm.
So yeah. So honestly, like to see Zack Snyder's debut, like I can see so many things that he takes from his work now. Like very dark tone and everything. Like I don't know. Like I love how he directs movies. Like seriously,
Yeah,
he has a style that's very interesting.
he
So
does.
so yeah, like I said, I love this movie, man. This movie is precious to me because it was my first zombie movie, and I rewatched it so many times, man. Because I don't know, like, well, it's been a while. I didn't watch it. I won't lie about that. I think the last time I watched this probably was 2014. So it's been a while though. I
Oh
didn't
wow.
watch
Okay.
it. So maybe if I rewatch it again, maybe I'll see something that I like less probably. But we never know. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's my what I think about Zack Snyder and
With
Dawn
his
of the Dead.
Yeah, yeah. So like kind of like with you, he's a new director, so I really didn't know. It wasn't until he directed Watchmen where I was like, who is this
Oh,
guy? He's pretty awesome, and then he
yeah.
directed 300 or he directed 300 and then Watchmen, so by then I was like, wait a minute, this guy, he's making some bangers. And then I found out he directed this movie and I'm like, wait, his first movie was Dawn of the Dead. Despite if you're on our channel on Spoiler Kings, we did a reaction to Rebel Moon, and we got a bunch of hate because I think people think we hate Zack Snyder, and it's quite the opposite. I really love all his Sucker Punch. I'm one of the very few people that love Sucker Punch. 300, one of my favorite movies of all time. Same thing with Watchmen. And then once I found out later that he directed this as well, I was like, holy crap, man, this guy's awesome. He's amazing. And this is a great zombie film for me,
Yeah.
especially coming off of remaking George A. Romero zombie movie. You know, so
Yeah.
from what 78 was when the Dawn of the Dead first came out. You know, and now he's doing one in 2004. So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. I thought it was gonna suck at first because, like, you know, it's a remake.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. You know, despite Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 76. Google is at an 85, and IMDb is at a 7.3 out of 10.
Okay.
For me, it's a little bit better than a 76 for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
me
I'll
too.
put it maybe high 80s just because I did have a lot of fun with it. You know, the graphics are very dated. I did watch this again once I put this. I made our list and started
Okay.
inviting people. You know, I haven't seen this in a while. Let me watch it again.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's fun. It is a lot of fun. It is a fun zombie movie, and I forgot how many other famous people are also in this movie. You know, that kind of started making their
Yeah.
own career a little later.
Mhm.
But the graphics are not. They don't hold up, but a lot of things
Yeah.
don't hold up when it comes graphics wise.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it is a fun zombie movie,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
good.
Oh no, I was just about to say, yeah, that's the key of this movie. It's so fun. Like I remember,
Yeah.
like I'm not bored. Like you said, maybe yeah, maybe it's a bit outdated. That could happen, but it's still fun. You know, like
Mhm.
that's what I remember every time I remember Dawn of the Dead. It's like it was just so goddamn fun. You know, like
Yeah.
even they got in the mall and everything. Like even that there was things happening there.
Yeah.
Not appropriate for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The-
man, it was just yeah. That's why like this movie, yeah, it's always a blast. Like seriously.
Yeah, yeah. Even the ending when, you know, they escape and they're in the cars or in the
Yeah.
buses, it's all modified up and stuff like that. It's a fun movie because I always catch myself like screaming at the TV. You know, I'm always like, "Oh, why
Yeah.
did you do that? Why
Yeah,
would you
why
pull
you
the
do
chainsaw?
that?
What are you doing?" You know, like
Yeah.
very silly things, and it's not a bad choice because it needs, like, zombie movies. I think if he's going the direction he went with it being
Yeah.
fun, you need to like have those moments, and I
Yeah,
think
for sure. Yeah.
those really show in this kind of movie where it's like between Zack Snyder and James Gunn, I thought there was a great combo between them because Gunn has a very distinct way of telling a story, and
Yeah.
Snyder has a distinct way of directing stories. You know,
Yeah.
so like them working together on this, I thought was awesome. You know, and not
Yeah.
until later you find out both of these guys are amazing directors. You know, and they both tell stories really great.
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
You know, just like, you know, people hating James Gunn that love, you know, Zack Snyder, and, you know, vice versa and stuff like that. They made a great movie together, a great fun zombie movie that a
Yeah.
lot of people, I think, expected it to be kind of trash because it was a remake from the great, you know, the zombie creator of George A. Romero or Romero. Romero.
And actually, like,
Yeah.
can I ask you a question about that? Because like I once remember I tried to watch the original,
Mhm.
but I stopped because like I just saw it was kind of the same thing as the 24 sorry, the 2004 like Zack Snyder. So that's why I just stopped. I was like, well, it's the same premise. Like, I think it's the same
Yeah.
thing they're literally doing. But like you watched probably both of them. So like is this like an improvement or is just like both of them have their distinct ways of showing this movie? Like what did you think about that?
Yeah. So for me, so you say you never seen the original, or you seen parts of it?
I just seen parts of it because, like I
Parts of
said,
it.
I tried to see it, but then I realized it's exactly the same as well. At least premise wise, it's exactly the same. So I'm like, yeah, doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense for me.
Yeah. I they're both they're very obviously very similar because it's a remake, but
Yeah.
I would probably say I like the 2004 one a little bit better
Okay.
than the 1978 version. But the original one is still great, and it's, you know, obviously considered a classic at this point. You
Yeah.
know, but they're both fun. I think you can watch both movies and enjoy both of
Okay.
them. You know, I'll link our discussion with I forgot who we're doing it with, but the older original
Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, you know, I'll link it up there so you guys can check that out too and hear our thoughts with that. But I thought both were a lot of fun, you know. But if you've seen the 2004 version first, it might be hard to go back and see a movie that's what, 30, almost 30 years
Yeah,
different,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
so
But I'll give
yeah,
it a
there's
shot.
a little bit of a change. There's a little bit
But
of a
I'll give it a
change.
shot for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they changed
Yeah,
it. But yeah, for sure, I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah,
deserves a shot, man.
yeah. Well, one thing for me was like, I think in the 70s, going into the 80s, malls were very, very different than malls were in 2004, and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Because one is like almost at the peak of what malls are. So like that was the perfect spot for a zombie movie at that
yeah,
time. 2004 kind of felt great as well because it was kind of like, as the deaths of malls were happening, let's make a zombie movie in it. We're
yeah,
like, yeah, it makes sense,
yeah. It
So
makes
that's how
sense. Yeah,
I always saw it,
yeah, it makes
because
sense. Yeah,
like malls were definitely going down at that point. No one was going to malls as much, and it was kind of the beginning of the end for malls, where
yeah,
the original was like the just start of it, like the real start of malls. So there's stuff like that. I kind of look at it, and in retrospect, I'm like, oh, okay, and if you look at it that way, it kind of like changes the whole vibe of the movie as well, too.
yeah,
Like the importance of the location where they're at. So one's kind of the birth of it, and another one's like the death of it.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It was nice. Yeah.
But I would say watch both. But I personally did enjoy the 2004 one first, or more, because I seen it first. Um,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that being said, where are you putting the 2004 version of Dawn of the Dead? Where are you kind of putting it in your watch list of Halloween October movies?
So I would say like yeah, probably like very high. Like yeah.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I didn't have really like I don't do really like lists
Like,
of like October per se like that. But
uh,
if I should do one, like for sure, like this would be like my number one or number two.
oh
Like
wow.
with Coraline there, like I have to rewatch those classics that I love. So yeah, definitely like very high for me because like I remember I think I've seen this movie like 4 or 5 times
Mhm.
and I was never disappointed. Like it was just every time it was nice, and yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe right now I'll watch Coraline probably because I just watched that movie once. But this one, if I have time, probably I'm gonna rewatch it this year, or not, or if not, I'm gonna rewatch it at one point. Not even like for like I'm not obligated to watch it on October. Like I
Yeah.
would just love to rewatch it, like period,
Whenever.
because it's
Yeah.
yeah, whenever because it's worth it. So yeah,
Yeah. 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 For me, it's up there too. It's a lot of fun. It's a good zombie movie.
yeah.
If you want to watch, like if you're having a Halloween party, this is a movie you put in the background.
Oh yeah,
Turn the
for sure.
volume down and
Yeah,
just let the visuals kind of do best, because that's something Zack Snyder is great at, is visuals.
yeah,
And it's just being a great zombie movie. Playing in the background of a party, that's like great to have. But to sit down and watch it, I'll probably watch it one more time. Sometime in the month of October for Halloween, because that's usually for me, like me and my girlfriend like to like get in the season. So
yeah, yeah.
Halloween, October, we watch a lot of Halloween stuff. Same thing with December, going into Christmas for us.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah,
cool.
Halloween, we have our movies that we like. Okay, what we can watch tonight, kind of thing. So
Nice.
and this one is probably gonna be on that list for us this month, because it is a super fun movie.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. But anything else for the Dawn of the Dead?
I wanted to mention, like, like the first time I watched this movie, like, I didn't know there was a post credit scene.
Okay,
So s-
what, I don't even remember what it is now.
the credit scene changes everything. Like, that's why, like, this movie, it's like kind of weird because so the credit scene was like, so basically,
I
like they
forget.
escape with the boat, right? And the
Hmm.
credit scene is that you see that they arrive on a little island or something like that, and there's still
Uh,
zombies there. So that's where you don't know, did they survive or everybody just died there. So
hmm.
you don't know if they survive or not, and that's how Zack Snyder ended his movie. I'm like, whoa, that changes everything because you don't know, did they survive, did they not, and we'll never find out. So I was just like, whoa, that was
Yeah,
crazy. And the first time I missed that, so I didn't know that. The
yeah.
second time I watched, I'm like, wait, how did I miss this? And then I started to see on YouTube people making some theories. Oh, okay, this happened because of this. Uh, if we go like the guy had a shotgun, so probably they kind of survived, but maybe he could die also because I think he was already injured. So yeah, they were making a ton of some they said like, oh, probably the dog died first, so they had they had time to escape. I'm
Yeah.
like, the poor dog, poor dog. Man. So literally, they sent the dog to die. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot about the post credit scene
Yeah.
because usually I turn it off when it's done, and then when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, because it was like they get off the boat and they're on the dock, and then it just kind of comes in, which is great. Yeah, it was definitely a post credit scene before the MCU started doing it. Zack Snyder did it first. There you go, Snyder fans. Snyder did it first.
Yes,
in his first movie. Yeah, his first movie. So yeah, that is a cool little scene at the end. Because is there going to be a sequel? It was kind of a sequel, kind of like setup. So if it never happened, cool. But if it happened,
awesome.
Here's the start of it. So
yeah, but
obviously never. I don't think that ever happened. So
no, that never happened. But it would have been cool. I wanted that so badly, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I understood that was the point. Like, just leave it to audience to guess for themselves, like to make the ending of the story they want to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I understand that.
Yeah. Super cool. So I forgot about the post credit scene until you started talking about it. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to point that out. I'm like, oh my god, I need to talk about that credit scene. So
yeah. That's a great thing. That's a thing now where like every movie you watch, you kind of need to play the credits because it might have happened, like this case almost 20 years ago, and you never knew about it, So
crazy.
Yeah. So awesome. Yeah, man. Post credit scene in a 2004 movie.
2004 movie credit scene. It's amazing. Huh?
Yeah. I'm sure there's other movies, but it was before the MCU did it, so that's cool. But cool, appreciate you, Jason, coming and hanging out with me, talking about
the honor is mine, man. Thank you so much for having me, man.
Anytime. But if you guys want to subscribe, which I highly recommend you should do, I'm gonna put the description down below his info in the description down below, so you can check out his channel as well. I know you're on a few other channels, collabing with other people. You do all your reviews and everything, like you said earlier. So make sure you go check out Jason Entertainment. But if you are watching us on the replay, if you're watching us, make sure you leave a comment and hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well. It's the month of October, so why not have fun with a fun zombie movie? Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about Dawn of the Dead, 2004 version with Zack Snyder directing. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like the original better? Leave a comment. Let us know. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, everyone out in YouTube land. But we will see you guys in the next video. Later.
Take care, guys.